Back here on SportsLine, taking your calls tonight, as always, 737-7767 number. And back to the phones we go. We say hello to Marty. Marty, good evening. Welcome to SportsLine.
Hey, how you doing now?
Good.
I want to ask you, where did Henry Brooks go, the running back we had last year or the year before?
Henry Brooks?
He's a running back. He's real good.
You talking about Tennessee?
No, Vanderbilt.
Oh. He transferred to Louisiana Tech.
Oh,
so
man, he left us to go there? Oh, man, that's crazy. That's all I want to know, man.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. They brought in Raymond Davis, who was the freshman All-American at Temple a couple of years ago, and he was kind of the guy who was supposed to step in and be the next guy in that slot for them. And then, obviously, he got hurt in the second week of the season, and it's been kind of by committee, and now it's down to Rocco Griffin at this point. So, I mean, that's what's going on with Vanderbilt. But you're right, Keon Henry Brooks had a very impressive freshman season over at Vanderbilt, and it's unfortunate that he didn't stick around because he'd certainly be seeing the field for them right now.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet, no problem. Speaking of the Vanderbilt Commodores, huge win on Saturday night. Last-second field goal by Joseph Bulovas, who for the second time this year is the SEC Player of the Week after a game-winning field goal. Doors now 2 wins on the season, beat Colorado State in the final minute, beat UConn in the final seconds. But now it's back into SEC play in a trip to number 20 Florida on Saturday. The Commodores will try to snap a 14-game conference losing streak. It's going to be a big challenge, especially with a Florida team that's going to be screaming mad, I think, going into that game after what happened to them up in Lexington against Kentucky over the weekend. But Clark Lee's team, a little bit more confidence after a win, and they're hoping to build on that this week.
Hey, Clark. I guess, of course, Florida is a very talented team. What adjustments do you guys make? What do you guys need to do to prevent another game, kind of like the Georgia game, considering that the talent level is somewhat comparable between those two teams?
Yeah, they're talented. I think the starting point is those self-inflicted wounds from early in the Georgia game. Let's get out to a better start and give ourselves a competitive chance. And then design around the matchups, right? Like, let's find the rhythm on offense that gives us a chance to get our playmakers the ball in space, and defensively, let's make sure we're doing a good job of accounting for the quarterback in the run game, and and having awareness of their shot plays too. It's going to be about us. It's going to be about getting to a better start, not having the self-inflicted wounds and putting ourselves behind early, and then trying to get to that one possession game in the fourth quarter where the pressure's on the opponent.
Aria.
Clark, you're coming upon decisions for several players in terms of whether to use the red shirt or not with the 4-game rule. What is your approach to deciding, who's going to, of the true freshmen, who's going to continue playing, who might, use their red shirt? Do you consider their red shirt status in terms of deciding when to put a player into a game?
I think year one will be different than the plan moving forward. This is about putting our most competitive team on the field every week. And so, we're going to default to letting those guys help where we need, to enhance our depth, or, maybe a little more skill or athleticism at position. And if a freshman's helping with that, we're going to field the most competitive team we can. I think moving forward, obviously, you love redshirting. You love to play with an older, experienced team down the road. But in year one, we have to be all hands on deck to make sure that we're giving ourselves the best chance each weekend.
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Clark, what's the response been like in practice this week? I guess you haven't had that many yet, obviously, but you've had meetings and things like that. And what do you sense that a win has done for your team's spirits?
Well, obviously when you get the result you want, everything, the mood lightens. We took an honest look at that UConn game yesterday with the team and celebrated the areas where we felt like we pushed, into the areas competitively that we wanted to. And then we also looked at the things that we did that prevented us from closing that game out sooner. And, there's learning in that, but I loved where the guys were yesterday in meetings. We'll find out today in practice what the level of compete, the spirit, enthusiasm, but hopefully we're building on the week of prep that we had last week, because I thought that was our best. And we're scheduled to have a great practice this afternoon. So I'm expecting that from the players, and they're excited to go on the road and to have a chance to battle out and SEC play on the road.
Teresa.
Clark, how much maybe do you try to learn from your first SEC game against Georgia as you now prepare to go on the road to Florida? And what are the challenges that are involved maybe with going on the SEC road right now?
Well, the environments are unforgiving on the road, and I think that's also exciting for us. It's not something that we look forward to playing in those hostile environments, and so we'll get up for that. Again, kind of what I said with reference to Robbie's question. I feel like for us, it's got to be tightening our game down. And I felt like we did that in some ways against UConn, where you saw less procedural penalties, again, fewer self-inflicted wounds. There's still details to clean up, both in the execution on offense and defense, but also in the kicking game and coverage units. For us, to get a better result this weekend, as opposed to the first SEC game, it's how do we put ourselves in the strongest position competitively? That starts with us, not turning the ball over and making good decisions in the return game, so on and so forth, so that we have the best chance to be in striking distance here as the game gets tight in the fourth quarter.